As season 4 of chapter 5 is coming to an end, in this video I will be discussing, reviewing back over every last season of chapter 5. I hope you enjoy. Let's get into the video. So here are chapter 5 season 1 medallions, starting with Oscar's medallion. They all did the same thing. They literally all did the same thing. So basically, the more you have, the more medallions you had, the more shield they gave you. And that's really good. If you had all of them, that's 75 plus shield that regenerates, which is good. Very good in my opinion. So, onto mythics now, I guess, already. Now we are on to the mythics that the bosses drop. So, first off, we have Peter Griffin's shotgun. Now this was crazy. I'm not sure how much damage it did to the head, but it might have been 190, maybe 195, not sure, but it was a good gun. The only thing about it was the time it took to shoot again. That's the only bad thing about it. It's basically the OG pump, but mythic and different. Here we have Valeria's SMG. I didn't like it at first, but then when I used it more, I did like it. The boss was very hard to kill, honestly. It was the hardest, but eventually it got easier to kill. Anyway, but its damage isn't the greatest. I think it was 18-17 to the body and 19 to the head. Anyway, I like it now. It's in season 4. But anyway, it's still good. It is good.
Literally mythic. Hyper SMG. I just found a cool voice. Change your zany face. Now here is Oscar's shotgun gun. Now I love this. It was amazing. It's basically an auto shotgun. Good damage, loads of bullets to shoot out, but the only thing was the reload. If I'm correct, I think it took about 6 seconds to reload, but other than that, it was great. Thumbs up. Here is Montague's AR. I also absolutely loved this. The scope wasn't the best, but that didn't stop me from getting a 32 bomb solo victory royal, 18 kills with it. Crazy damage, that thing. The reload time was also very good. The normal rarity of this AR is still great, but the mythic damage was even spicier. And finally, for the last mythic. Lo and behold. Nisha's mythic AR 10 out of 10 amazing gun. A rapid scar. If you've ever used the scar, you will know how slow it is. But then the striker. Ho ho ho. Pew pew pew, so incredibly fast compared to the scar. As I said, a rapid scar. SMG scar. Okay, to start off with, Epic had a great idea. With the train, I loved it. Then born with the train was the train challenge. Me and my friends did this quite a bit in the following weeks of the season being out, and it was the first time I ever got storm sickness. I liked the new map. I know some people didn't, but I thought it was quite a nice map. The new animations and bullet drop wasn't the best addition to the game. But anyway, at least they added the pump back. Oh wait, no they didn't. Anyway, the boss boys were nice, but I think Oscar still is my favorite, and don't forget the underground basements, which were my drop spot for when this season's collab happened. More about that later. Before we move on to the collab, don't forget another long collab Peter Griffin, the buff one. He drank out of date slurp juice and became thick. I don't think that's how it works, but hey, wait. Now we are on to the collab that brought the first ever mini pass into the game. If you don't know what it is, it's a mini battle pass that comes in around halfway through the season. Quite obvious, really. This also added a new set of mythics, which I loved. You had the staff, the katanas, the weird shaped fork things, and nunchucks, and they all had special abilities. They were found in vending machines around the map in different toys. Now this update also added the underground phases. Update turning them into Ninja Turtle themed. Now by the postal service on the map. There were two ways to get in there after adapting to the faster ones. I was either dying straight away of spawn or getting really successful games, because then after going to the underground ninja place, then you could push Pleasant Piazza and maybe get the new mythic and get even more powerful weapons.
We coming.
As many people know, this chapter also added festive mode, Lego mode, and rocket racing mode. If you can't guess, it's a racing mode. This one being the least successful of them all, but that is so much good stuff in this season, but still not the best season in my opinion, so I give this season, drumroll please, a 7.5/10. Now without further ado, let's move on to Season 2 of Chapter 5. Here we have the one and only Chapter 5 Season 2. I don't know what it was about it, but this was my favorite season of the chapter. Maybe it was the mythics, maybe it was the medallions, or maybe it was the battle pass, but I loved it. The introduction to the underworld and Mount Olympus was crazy. They also fixed ruin reels, and it is now restored reels. It took me a long time to memorize that and think of how I worded this sentence, but I think for now I'm not going to put it in sections. I'm just going to talk about the season. I think my favorite boy out of this season was Grimgate. Honestly, I think it still is. The river Styx was really fun. Still is? I like the idea of dashing around. Yes, you could say sort of like the fish you could eat, and it gave you those purple crystals around you, and you could dash around. The battle pass was one of the better ones out of this chapter in my opinion too. The mythics like Zeus's Thunderbolt, the Wings, and Hades' Chain were fun till they lasted. Then almost a week after Hades' Chain was brought in, they took all the Greek-themed items out of the Greek-themed season and added the Avatar mythics instead. Don't get me wrong, that was a cool collab, especially for Avatar fans. Cool mini pass, but they didn't have to take all the Greek-themed weapons out. I mean, come on, that's the theme of the season. Anyway, after the season went on a bit, I did get to liking the DMR more and started pushing Zeus more, and I also liked the medallion, so it was a win-win. But then I also liked the AR Gatekeeper mythic and Metal and Hades loot. So basically I liked everything. I think my least favorite mythic in the whole season, though, was the Rock Air thing. Was annoying to use, go up against, if your opponents knew how to use it. Now for the season rating. Overall, as I did state, this is my favorite season of Chapter 5 purely, I think, because of the map. There were plenty of bosses. I didn't get bored, and I liked the mythics, medallions, bosses, battle pass, so yeah. I think there is always room for improvement, so I give this season a 9 out of 10. If you gave me one word to describe this season, it would be controversy. Some people liked it, most people didn't like it, but at the end of the day, it was just a season until you realize how overpowered the cars were. Bro, the people who were testing these and said they were okay must have been on drugs or something like that. You saying that's normal, getting one-tapped by a car? This ain't real life. Even in real life, most people don't even get one-tapped by cars. Okay, maybe that was a bit too far, but anyway, in a few years' time, well, laugh at how ridiculously overpowered the car mods were. how ridiculous it was that the pros were crying that the game was evolving, but anyway, the battle pass wasn't that bad. Last super style didn't match at all, but hey, who cares? I liked it. The boom bolt was also a very good mythic, probably my second favorite. Because my favorite was the combat shoddy, my baby. My favorite medal was definitely the infinite sprint one. I think it was Megalodon's, but toward the end, Ringmaster's medal was good for the minigun. Now to talk about this season's collab. So much to talk about such a small season. This season's collab was Magneto and Pirates of the Caribbean. The mythics from both were cool and fun to use. But the two be used against not so fun at all. Now time for the ratings. After reviewing this season, we probably will miss it some. Point in the future, may that be now or in 10 years. Tim, but I think this has to be the worst season in this chapter, so I give it AA 4.5 out of 10. Trust me, it could have been worse. Reload gave it the 3.5. And finally, the last season of Chapter 5. Chapter 5, Season 4. Now this season will have a special place in my heart, as this is the first season where I got past Diamond 1 rank. I am currently Diamond 351% on the 23 of October by the end of the season. I will tell you, if I hit a lead on community posts, but right now we are talking about season 4 of Chapter 5, as you know by the time this video is out, it will be a day before the live event hits. Now back to talking about the season. So at first I was really hyped for the season. The Marvel theme, the bosses do new mythics fun. Then after a few days it started to get boring, yawning face. Then the first update hit, which I think was the new villains versus heroes mode, which wasn't what I was expecting. It was okay, not the best, also do my own part. I was still grinding for those super styles. But after a few weeks, I was started to get on board. The Siphon medal is still my favorite. Dr. Doom's? Then also the pistol, probably my favorite boss weapon. But then they added Rank Reload and Iron Man that made the season 10 times better than Fortnite Mars. Also, Fortnite's anniversary, the rewards for. Both are pretty cool as well. Now onto the collab. I rambled on a bit there. This season's collab will be Venom. I think at the time of making this video, the collab is not out yet, but the cup was. The skins look pretty cool, so I can't wait to see them in game. But anyway, time to rate the season. Of course, we also had this live event. This is not my gameplay, although I did play the event. We will also be getting another live event taking us into Chapter 2. OG, which I am unbelievably excited about. Now this season did start off slow in my opinion, but it progressively got better, adding ranked reload, of course, still Island Iron Man armor, the ranked skin that doesn't work, and of course Fortnite Mars, and it's a Marvel season, so altogether I give it an 8.5 out of 10. As you probably already know, OG Chapter 2 is coming out on November the 2nd, and the live event is happening on the 1st. The reason I haven't been speaking since the first part of the video is my throat hurts, and it hurts to speak, and that's why I have been using AI voice. See you all in the next one, and have a nice day, night, whatever you're having.